And there we go. We are live.
Good stuff. Yeah, all good. How are you?
Yes, very well. Thank you. Well, we've got to the last live lesson in January. It's been a long old month.
Yes.
And today we have got a very special live lesson for you all because it is Holocaust Remembrance Day today.
Very important.
Yes, so maybe you've been learning about the Holocaust in school. Maybe you've been learning about World War II. I know a lot of schools do units of work on World War II, learning about the
I remember teaching it many times myself.
Yeah, and learning about how that affected maybe your area especially. But the Holocaust, of course, is something that happened on mainland Europe. So when Hitler and the Nazis took control of Germany, they decided to blame Jewish people for a lot of things that they said were wrong with the country. And Jewish people were treated terribly. And the Holocaust is when over 6 million people lost their lives. So on the 27th of January this year, it is Holocaust Remembrance Day, where we remember that massive, massive loss.
So today, it's important to do things like that. You've got to keep them in mind, haven't you?
Yeah, history is really important because obviously you've probably heard this before, but if we don't learn about history, then we'll never learn from our mistakes and we will just repeat bad stuff. So we have to learn the lessons from such a terrible thing as the Holocaust. So we've got some activities for you today. Hopefully you're going to learn some new things as well, especially the first challenge is maybe is a lesser known part of the Holocaust story.
Yeah, that was new to me, that one. It's great.
Oh, good.
Get out on the scrolly at the bottom.
Yeah,
you can
so the
bit.ly/HRD 2025. Get into it.
Indeed. Yeah, and just a reminder, we've told you this a few times, but we do have our film competition running. So if you want to get involved with that, teachers, get along to bit.ly/filmfest25. Register your interest, and then you'll receive some emails now and again with some information and some tutorials and that kind of thing. So if you're interested in a film competition using Adobe Express, get along to there. Now then, if you are new to our Adobe Digital Leaders live lessons, then we do have 3 very simple rules.
Yes.
Rule number 1 is pause if you want. If we're going too fast, just press pause on the live stream and carry on whenever it suits you. We are going to be doing this twice. I'm on the iPad, Dom's on the browser. But if we're still going too fast, then, you do you guys. Right. Rule number 2, Dom.
Claim your certificate. At the end of this session, your teacher will get an email to say, hey, well done for coming. And if you would like to get certificates for all your pupils, hey, any teacher as well, you can get a certificate, then they'll be in a link on an email so you can give all of those out. And number 3 is earn a pizza party. We're doing Express School challenges. The link is on the challenge page and you'll be able to see what they're all about. Essentially, it's 100 pupils or 4 classes in your school if you're a small school. If you get all of those people involved in your school doing some of these Express School challenges, you can earn a pizza party by doing 3 challenges in a row.
Yeah, all that info is at the bottom of the challenge page, teachers. So if you want to know more, scroll right to the bottom and it's down there for you, okay? Right, so speaking of the challenge page, let's go and take a look at it. So let's click on some things. There we go, and let's put that up there. There we go. So here's the challenge page. As Dom said, you can get to that using the URL that's on the scrolly, bit.ly/HRD, Holocaust Remembrance Day 2025. Or if you've got an iPad like me or any device that's got a camera that can scan QR codes, there's a QR code there for you on the screen too. Right, now then, I'm going to scroll down. Oh, I'm scrolling and it's not. Oh, yes, it is. There it is. It wasn't scrolling with me there. It froze up. Right, so let's scroll down.
A bit slow, but it's okay.
Yeah, so here's our first challenge today. We are going to be learning about Kindertransport. We're going to be making an infographic all about Kindertransport. So if you haven't heard about this, well, just that first
never heard about it before this.
So what was the Kindertransport? Well, the Kindertransport, which in German means children's transport, was a rescue mission before World War II. So it kind of went on for about a year before World War II started. that saved 10,000 Jewish children from danger in Nazi-controlled countries. So before World War II actually started, the Nazis had taken over a few countries around Germany, and the persecution of the Jews had begun. So a lot of Jewish families decided, hang on, let's try and get our children away from mainland Europe to safety. Okay. And it was organized by people in Europe and in the United Kingdom, who organized that all these children were sent to the UK so that they could be safe. Okay, so we're going to be making an infographic on Express. So I'm going to just jump over to the Express app. There we go. And yeah, right, I have gone over and my screen hasn't refreshed. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
There's a lot of lag going on here today. A lot of lag, which is not great. But there we go. Right. Okay. So for this, we're going to be making an infographic. So just click on the green tile in your top right-hand corner that says Create a Graphic. Tap on that. It's going to open up the Adobe Express all-in-one editor. Mine is open, but the screen still hasn't refreshed, which is a little bit troubling. There we go, we're there. Right, and now what we want to do is we want to get this kind of World War II vibe with this infographic. So we're going to search for an old paper background. So to find backgrounds, they are in the elements. So on the left-hand side, on the toolbar, down near the bottom, tap on elements. And then up at the top, we want to just scroll over to backgrounds. You see, it's the third button along there that says backgrounds. And then in there, in the search bar, I'm just going to search for old paper.
Seems to be nice and responsive now.
It looks like it's caught up now. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so there's loads of really good ones here. And what's great about the backgrounds in Express is that you can just try them out. You just tap on it, it'll add it. If you're not sure, tap on another one and it'll swap it for you, okay? You don't need to kind of undo or delete or anything like that. Just keep tapping on different backgrounds. That map is even cool as well. So choose a background that you like. And then once you're happy with your background, why not save our project as Kindertransport infographic? So up in the top left, I'm just going to, there we go.
Well, let me just get in there and just say, it's already saving, isn't it? Automatically, you're renaming. Because it is you're right. Already saving. Right.
Yeah, I'm just giving it a bit.
Pedantic, but I thought I'd better mention.
Yes, no, that's fine. Right, there we go. That's saved. So let's jump over to the browser, and Dom's going to get us maybe up to that point.
Okay, nice. So we clicked on the green infographic. This is very similar on the iPad and the browser now. So you're just getting a second bite at the cherry. I'm going to get rid of these templates here. I'm going to name mine first because that's the kind of guy I am. Kindertransport is all one word, I think. And then I'm going to go over to Elements on the left-hand side, give it a click. And Mr. Jones said, all design assets, backgrounds, third one across. You can see you can scroll across if you use your trackpad, or you can just use your finger on your iPad. We'll go to backgrounds, and he searched for old paper. I'm intrigued about how this is going to go down. I must say that I wasn't mightily impressed with the one that Mr. Jones chose, but then I really am. And then I'll go and try and find, I don't know, that one. Yeah, that's good for me. I'm happy. Oh, no, not that one. I clicked on the wrong thing. This one. Yeah, that looks great. I'm in for that. I'm up for that.
Yeah, brilliant. Right. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now then, the Kindertransport. So it just brings to my mind kind of steam trains going across Europe with carriages full of children. And I suppose it kind of reminds us also of, the stories of evacuees here in the UK. So that's kind of the imagery that I've got in my head of these children escaping persecution. So what we're going to do is we're going to use generative AI to kind of produce that kind of image for us. Okay. So over on the left-hand side, go to Media. And you don't actually need to go to Photos. You can just tap on it there under All, Generate Image, the grey button. But I don't know why, but I like tapping Photos first. because I'm a little bit strange like that. There we go. And I'm also, I want this image to be in a kind of thin strap across the middle of my paper. So I'm actually going to go for a widescreen image size. Okay. So I'm going to go for a widescreen image size. There we go. And you can see that I can start actually framing it up now. I kind of want it, there we go, in a kind of strap like that across the middle of my page. Okay. Right. So what do we want this to look like? Okay, here we go. So I want this to be a simple watercolor painting. Simple watercolor painting of a steam train, faded, black and white.
Oh yeah, you're the king of prompts.
Right. So we want, So, and I mean, you could try different things. You could have simple watercolor painting of 1940s children with suitcases. You know, you could try things like that. But I really like this imagery of the train here for this. So simple watercolor painting of a steam train, faded, black and white. Okay, and then I just hit return. Oh no, I don't. I hit generate at the bottom here. I'm not going to do anything with the content type or the styles or anything. I'm just going to go. Okay, let's see what express.
So the content type is automatically art. I think that was something that I didn't remember, but obviously you can pull that drop down. Look at those.
Oh, wowzers. Wowzers. Right. So I'm going to choose one of them. I like this one. This one's great. That's fine. And now I just want to do some tweaking. Okay. So I'm just going to X that away. I tell you what, let's get Dom up to that point as well, because there's a couple of steps. So let's go over to the browser. I'm sure you're all busy now with your prompts.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to media. On the left-hand side, let's go to generate image. Now, maybe I'll try a widescreen because that was kind of how Mr. Jones kind of stretched it across anyway. But maybe that's a bit tall. But I can just use, I thought I could just use the handles, but it didn't work, did it? Because it's just scaling things up anyway. Fine. I'll do it like that, and then I can always crop it afterwards. Now, on the left-hand side, describe what you'd like to see over here. So what am I going to go for? I'm going to go for old style black and white photograph of children in the 1940s standing on a train platform with leather suitcases, maybe.
Wow. And he says I'm the king of prompts, huh? Look at that.
Let's see what it does, though. I mean, I'm worried about this prompt. I wonder whether it's a little too niche.
Well, we can always change it up.
Whoa! Look at that.
Those are fantastic.
That's crazy. That one's lovely. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of. Yeah, I mean, I think this one. No, the faces are crazy on that one. This one looks good. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. That's cool. The one for me.
Right.
Yeah, and if I want to, I think afterwards I can trim it down and make it a little bit.
Yeah, well, I got a little trick I'm going to show you there, Dom, so hang on that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're going to like this. Right. Now, I want it to look as if that picture has always been printed on this page. Okay? So,
here we go.
We're going to use a blend mode,
guys.
Now then, we're going to blend mode. So we're going to use the multiply blend mode, which is going to get rid of all the lighter parts of this and keep the darker parts. So I'm going to go blend, multiply. So that's a pretty good job to begin with. But here's my new trick for you, Dom. Okay. Now, what I'm not happy with is this straight edge across the top and across the bottom. Not happy with that. So what we're going to do is
kind of fade in. Is that what you want?
Yeah. Well, so exactly. So tap on your image. Okay. After you've used the blend mode, and now we're going to go to erase. And we're not going to use the quick selection because that kind of chooses entire things that you click on. So we're going to move that down to a circle brush. And then bring your size of the brush all the way up to the max, but then bring the hardness all the way down. So you've got a big, soft brush. And what we're going to do is we're just going to paint roughly around the edges, those straight edges that we've got at the top and the bottom of your page, like that. Oh, you see? And it shows it best there on that train track down there. There we go. Okay, and
so they're bringing the hardness down means that the kind of edges are kind of fuzzy and
yeah,
the way it is.
Exactly. Okay, and then once you're kind of happy with it, which I am, I'm now gonna bring the opacity of my brush down to.
Of course he is.
And now I'm gonna go a bit further again. So what this is gonna do is it's just gonna kind of make the edges a little softer again without totally deleting them. See, so I'm just kind of rubbing over those. It's just fading the edges even more. There we go. Wow. Like that. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, the opacity, that really made a difference, I think.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Right.
Done. And the final thing I'm going to do is just bring the opacity of the whole thing down a touch. So that
Whoa. Loads going on here.
Looks like it's a part.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
that's really effective.
Okay, so let's just talk through those steps. We got the blend mode, first of all, that gets us most of the way. Then use the circle brush with as soft as you can to just break up any straight lines. Then do it again with the opacity step down.
But I'll tell you what, you talk me through it now.
Yeah, and then finally, we've got the opacity of the whole thing. Okay,
right.
So you've already done the blend mode.
What I'm going to do is, yeah, I've done the multiple. Well, let me go back and just show people. So that was my one. I've zoomed in. You can zoom in and out like this, using two fingers on your trackpad, or you can use this up here and go to like 50%. I mean, that's a bit large, maybe 20% is good. So the first thing we do is go blend mode, multiply. Nice,
and that gets you most of. Yeah, it gets you most of the way there, doesn't it? What we don't like really are those straight edges at the top of the bottom. So now go to erase.
Erase.
Change that to a circle brush. Size all the way up.
Size right up.
Hardness right down.
Hardness right down.
And now just start painting in some kind of soft edges. Yeah, there we go. And you don't need to be too careful with it. Just break up those straight lines. Exactly. Especially at the, you can on the sides, but definitely on the top and bottom. Top and bottom is where it's.
Excuse me.
You're right. There we go.
Frogging throat.
Great. Right. So that's a great start. So now just bring the opacity down to about 2/3.
Well, do you know what? I think when you changed it second time, it was really effective. So I'm going to leave it up there. I think that was.
Yeah, there we go.
Where you were there. Yeah, it's nice. It's just kind of taking the hard edge off that.
Yeah, and you could be more. You can kind of be a bit more aggressive with it once you've got the opacity down. You know, it's the effect isn't as obvious straight away. Brilliant. And then the final step, if you're looking at it and you're thinking, it's still not quite blending in like I like. What you need to do is hit done on this erase brush and then bring the opacity of the whole image down a touch. And it'll just melt it into that paper. Look at Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done, Dom. That looks fantastic. Right.
Great. Okay. Love it.
Onwards. So it's time to get our title on. So it's Kinder Transport. So hit T on the left-hand menu and then add your text. Okay. And it's one word, Kinder Transport. Okay. So I'm just going to frame this up and hopefully, you can get it somewhere where it's kind of a part of your image. Somewhere there works for me, not there. I think there looks.
You want to keep the main action really clear, don't you?
Yeah. But if you can avoid it, don't have it, right underneath it. Try and have it on top of your image somewhere. Right. Now then, font is really important here. So you do need something that looks old style, something like that is great. Yeah, so there are a set of old style fonts like this, kind of old print, which are called IM which I'm sure that's what this one is. So if you're searching for a font, you can just type in the font name IM. I'll just go back and it'll show you it. There we go. You see there in my font picker, IM.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They spell, and there's a whole set of these kind of old printed looking fonts. Right, so there's my title there. Right, now then, the next thing I'm going to do, I'll just show you this one bit, and then we'll pass over and get a title in as well. Oh, yeah, thanks for putting that up. It's up on the screen, guys. There's a whole set of old style printed fonts. Right, so we need now some zones for our information about Kindertransport. So there's 5 facts on the challenge page. You don't need to use them all. You don't need to include them all. So let's just start with maybe 2 or 3 zones. So for these zones, I'm going to use, I'm going to go to Elements, and I'm going to go to Icons. And I'm just going to search for Circle Texture. Circle Texture, because I don't want a perfect circle. I want a kind of a rough looking circle. Okay, so Circle Texture, and here we go. There's some good ones in here. If you keep scrolling, you'll see some kind of some bumpy circles, some kind of scratchy circles.
Oh, yeah.
These are good. So I'm just gonna grab one of these. I quite like this one. Yeah, pop that in, and this is going to be a kind of a zone for one of my facts about Kindertransport. Okay, now I like that a lot, but my text is going to be black. So this black circle, I could change the color of it, and maybe that's something that Dom's going to do, but actually I'm just going to bring the opacity of it down. So I'm going to fade it right out. So it looks a bit like a kind of a watermark, you know, it looks as if somebody spilled some water on the page. And now I'm just going to duplicate that. There we go. And pop another one down here, maybe rotate it so that I see that kind of scratchy, edgy bit there. And again, duplicate, maybe change the size of this one. This one could be bigger. They can overlap as well.
Yeah, it's nice that.
And maybe this one rotate, be a bit smaller. Okay, so I'm just building up these kind of areas where I'm going to copy and paste some facts in about the Kindertransport. Okay, let's pass over to Dom for the title and building up his zones.
Okie dokie. So on the left-hand side, T for text, add your text. Just go to the big blue button on the top, add your text. This is going to be Transport. There we go. So IM that's what we're looking for, or at least these are good ones. You can go for whatever you like, really.
Oh, yeah.
But, let's have a look. Ooh, that's nice. I like that one. So, you know, you can keep on putting in IMFL. I mean, they're all quite similar, actually. Is that one? You know, I'm going to use the back button. Don't forget about the power of the back button. Right up here at the top. It's absolutely the most crucial button on the whole thing. And I wonder whether if I go with dynamic.
Yeah.
Not as good, actually. It's not as good. I'm going to say no. I like the capital K. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that up, and then maybe I feel like on top is not going to work as well. I think I'm going to put it just down there and try and keep it on the kind of picture itself. And then, did you reduce the opacity of this one?
No, I didn't on the text, but yeah, you definitely could, couldn't you?
Yeah, maybe just to try and maybe just a little bit to try and make it, you know, sort of blend in with that paper old school effect that we've got. I don't know, maybe something like that's working for me there. Don't mind that. Maybe a little bit more, touch more. Right, and then let me think about what you did now. You went to Elements.
Yeah.
And the thing that you searched for was in Icons, wasn't it?
I was, yeah. You could go into Design Us as well. There's some stuff in there, but
maybe I'll go all and see what it comes up with. And you did Circle Texture.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Circle Texture. Yeah.
I wonder what we've got really. So you can scroll across the design assets.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, that one's okay, isn't it? But it's the edges that I feel like they're quite sharp edges. I think the one that you chose before, the way it had those kind of ragtag edges.
Yeah.
I feel like that sort of suits it more.
And there are more of them in the icons. If you scroll down, those kind of blobby looking ones.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder what this one would be like, or whether it would be a little bit too.
I think it'd be fine if you the opacity.
So let's just get a handle on how you did that. You brought the opacity down.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that works okay.
You can mix them up.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder the blend modes, do they do anything? Nah, not at all. They're no good at all. Bring the opacity right down. Well, try it. Why not? Try it. Try new things. So I'll make that one quite big, I think. And then all we're doing is using this little menu in the middle here, duplicate, and then grab it. And I think it is a good idea to rotate them so they just, they're just slightly different to each other, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I'm thinking on my design, and you tell me what you think, Mr. Jones, but maybe I need to bring this down a bit so there's a bit more equal space top and bottom. Yeah,
maybe.
So what I'm going to do here is select one, hold shift on my keyboard, select Kinder Transport 2, and then I can just nudge it down with my arrows. You can just drag it down as well. There's no reason why you can't do that. Bring it down to somewhere like around about there. That looks good. It's not quite in the center, but I'm happy with that. We're going to keep it a little bit offset, and then I'll duplicate another one, spin it around like so, Felix Baxter, and then just whack it in there. Maybe bring it.
Some of them could have slightly less opacity than others as well.
That's true. Yeah, let's bring one of them up, and maybe even bring one of them even further down. And then I'll duplicate that, bring this in, and I mean, I'm thinking maybe some of them are a bit big, but I can adjust them all once I know what text is going in. I think.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
Happy with that.
Great. Right. Okay. So let's now just start getting some facts over. Okay. So over on the challenge page, here we go. Let's just grab this first fact here. What was it? There we go. What was it? So I select it, and then I can copy back over to Express, and let's bring in a text box. So text, add your text. Now then, the paste button on an iPad is here by Dom's head. You see the scissors, and next to that you've got some pages, and then the third one along is a black clipboard with some paper on it. If we tap on that, then it's just going to paste in whatever you had selected. Just resize that. Oop, days. Just put a need. There we go. Right. Let's just resize that. I was
going to say that. Did you make a decision not to use the title as well? Like, what is it? The question
on the iPad, it's really fussy if you try copying a title and a piece of text. So
okay, fine.
I was avoiding trouble. That's what I was doing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So there we go. There's my first text box in there. Great. And I'm quite happy. Think about as well now with your first text box. Think about the font size. Think about, okay, is that font size going to work everywhere else? Because really, you don't want to be changing the font size for each text box separately. You want to try and keep consistency in your formatting. Right. So there's my first text box there. That's great. I'm happy with that. I could change the font here, okay, to maybe a bit of a cleaner font. So I've just changed it from an italic to a regular. You could go for a totally different font altogether, but making sure that you can read it clearly is really important here. Mm-hmm. Right. That's great. So now I'm just going to duplicate that. 3 dots. Duplicate. Copy that down there.
Okay.
3 dots.
Keeping the style consistent.
Duplicate. Copy that up to the top. And now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to just not use the corner handles because that's going to change the font size. I'm going to use the long side handles because what that does is it keeps the font size the same. It just changes your line breaks. Mm. So I'm just going to change my line breaks there. And that one I'm going to align to the right. There we go. And let's duplicate that. 3 dots duplicate. Let's bring that down. I still want that aligned to the right, but this time I'm going to push my line breaks over.
Oh, that's nice. That fits in perfectly.
Right. Now then, I'll pass over to Dom, who's going to do that. Now, whilst Dom is doing that, what I'm going to be doing is changing the text in all of those boxes, because at the moment, they're all identical. So I'm just going to be going back and forth to the challenge page, copying the text, back in here, double clicking and pasting it in. Okay, so let's jump over to the browser then whilst I'm doing that.
Okie dokie. Just checking that you can still hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, great. Right, so a bit easier on the browser if you're copying text. So I am actually going to keep in this, like, what was it? I'll copy all of that using, oh, hang on. I need to be on here to show you. What was it? And the text. I'm going to do all of that because on the browser it is easier. So I'm going to use Control and C to copy that. Bosh. And then I'm going to go back to my page, click on text, add my text, and you see it's giving me the same text as the one before. I mean, I think I'm quite happy with that. Maybe I'll paste one in. So there we go. I've pasted it all in. And then I've got to work out what I'm going to do with this. Now, interesting. I wonder whether this is not dark enough. Oh, it's the opacity. Interesting. I brought the opacity down on my text. And actually, maybe I need to bring it up on this. It's still not quite what I'm looking for. You can see here, if I zoom in, it's a little bit difficult.
You could maybe put a shape on there, couldn't you?
Could do. I'm going to try. I think what I'm going to do is, first of all, this what was it? I'm going to put a line break in there. I'm quite happy with the size, and I don't mind that it overlaps in places. Maybe what I'll try and do is put an outline on it, like a white outline, and then the opacity, that brings down the opacity of it all. This is okay. I'm still working with it. Maybe I can go to my font up here, and I'm on a regular font. That's the only one that I can do there. So I am Fell. I wonder if there's more of a, if there's any bolds in here. There don't seem to be any bolds, actually. All right, let's have a little play. I'm sure we can make this work. The outline, if that was black.
Yeah, that does.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, nice one, Dom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that works. I'm quite happy with that. Maybe I need to just play around with the opacity of my backgrounds. Yeah, there we go. Bringing the opacity of those circle textures down a little bit more has made a big difference. Okay, so I've got my first one there. Now, Mr. Jones, what he did was he duplicated all of these. So let's 3 dots, duplicate, drag over there. And he also changed the alignment straight away. So I'll do that as well. You can see the alignments over here. I'm going to give that a click and a click. That will go to the right now. Nice. And then I can duplicate this one. Bosh. And now I made sure I duplicated the one that was right aligned because I want it to be right aligned down here. But Mr. Jones, in his infinite wisdom, also showed you how to drag the side handles so that the font size stays the same. And then I can put it down right in the corner there. Maybe it does need to go up a little bit. There we go. Because we don't want to drown out this box here as well. So for that bottom left box, because I want it to be left aligned, I'm going to choose this one, 3 dots, and duplicate that one. There we go. And then I can bring it all down here. And I can work on things like sides of the box and all that kind of thing. Right, so I've got my 4 facts with my 4 questions. This one needs rescuing from the side. There we go.
Oh, that looks really good. Sorry, I haven't looked at yours at all because I've been doing my text boxes, and that looks really great.
Well, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the challenge page, and again, Control-C to copy the text boxes, and then I'll go back to my page, and start selecting them all and pasting in the new one. So if I get on with that, you can show something else, I think.
Yeah, cool. So I don't have titles yet, so that's what I'm going to do. Dom's already got his titles in. So here's my text boxes. I copied them all over. I actually had room for the 5th fact, so I put it there on the right-hand side of the train. So I've got all 5 facts in there now. Right, so I don't have my titles, though, which Dom does. For the title, I'm going to grab the actual Kinder Transport title that I've got here in the middle. And that idea that Dom had of putting a black outline on black text is genius. So I'm going to do that to my title as well. Bring that up. And there it is. I think that looks really cool. And now let's just duplicate that. 3 dots, duplicate. Drag up my Kinder Transport title. There we go. I'm just going to pop it up there. Right. So that then will be these titles here, which are what was it? So let's just copy that. What was it? I'm being lazy now. I could just type this, couldn't I? I could just type what was.
Why when you can find a shortcut?
Yeah, especially when it isn't copying and pasting very well. So I'm going to just type it. Right. So I'm just going to tap on that Kinder Transport text box. Whoop-a-days, where are we? Oh, yeah. Now, then when you do that, though, it will copy and paste that text box in the same place in the layer stack. So it's actually put that behind my rough circle. So just something to be aware. So I'm actually going to drag that title up to the top of my layer stack. Okay, when you copy and paste, when you duplicate something, it'll duplicate it in the same place in the layer stack, which in this case was way down underneath all of my circles and my text boxes. Right, here we go. So let's just change this Kinder Transport to, what was it? What was, let's have a capital letter there, please. What was it? Question mark. Brilliant. Right. So that's my question there. I think I can go a bit bigger, and I could possibly, I could do a bit of pushing things around as well. Like, no, I think I like it on one line. Change my mind. There we go. Now then, it's time to duplicate that to my other zones. So 3 dots, duplicate. Over here. 3 dots, duplicate. Down here. 3 dots, duplicate. Down here. 3 dots, duplicate. Over here. Right. So then that's all I need to do is just change those titles. So we've got what was it, where did they go, and when did it happen? Okay, so where did they go? Where did they go? Question mark. Okay. When did it happen? All right. How are you getting on, Don?
Yeah, great. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Oh, good.
And what I did actually was I reduced the opacity on my background. Actually, I found that was good.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Shall I just show people stuff while you're doing text?
Yeah, you know, this is, everyone knows what I'm doing now. I'm literally just replacing text in these text boxes. Yeah, go for it. Shall I change you over?
So, no, I'm all done. Yeah. So what I did was, if I go back a few steps here, I'll show you the things that I did. There's a lot of undos here. I'm moving things around, but yeah. So I think where I was I was roughly about here, and I thought I do really like it, but I wonder whether text is very readable. So I think one of the first things I did was, I moved some boxes around, but I think you can see in this step here, the background is quite dark. And I reduced the opacity of the background. If I just go forward there, you see, just to make it lighter. And that really made a difference. The text kind of popped off a bit.
Yeah.
And then I started clicking on all of my circle textures and reducing the opacity of those as well. And that again just made the text lift ever so slightly. And then I'm just kind of moving boxes around to make sure they're in the right places. Moving this one over, top and left, 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 using my arrow keys. And that was that. I thought that just made it a lot more readable than it was before, just by making everything ever so slightly lighter. Yeah,
it's a brilliant idea. I didn't think of doing that. Yeah, so just reducing the opacity of your actual background to show more white paper behind. Totally lifted all of that text now.
Yeah, but that's a bit of class. I love that one. That's an amazing little challenge.
Right. Well, it wouldn't be a Reddit challenge without something a little bit silly at the end. So we've got my final thoughts on this. Okay. Now, when you do something like this, sometimes you'll just find that you've got some emptiness, some empty spaces, which you don't really want to force to fill. So I've got that gap there between kinder transport and why was it needed, and that's a bit of an odd empty space. And then this little space here to the left-hand side of the front of the train, that's a bit of a funny space, okay? So rather than trying to move my text boxes around, because I'm quite happy with where my text is and the size of text, this is kind of a really good example where we can use design assets and textures like that to just fill in some gaps, which, you don't need to fill every inch of your page. Like, don't get me wrong here. We're not trying to, stuff your paper full of stuff. But if there's some gaps that look a little bit off-putting, and there's 2 gaps on mine that I'm not happy with, then here's where we can go looking for textures. So I'm going to go to Elements under Design Assets, and I've searched here just for ink stamp.
Ooh, nice.
Just ink stamp. And you can see straight away, that's a great one. That's a great one. I'm not fussed on those red ones, really. That's a cool one. Okay, and that's what's great with design assets. You could just kind of throw these in and then try them out and delete the ones you don't want. Okay, so just scroll through, add a few in, these kind of blotchy things. There we go. And now I'm just gonna use these kind of ink stamp textures. Bring the opacity down. Maybe not this star-shaped one. I think that's a bit too special offer, kind of. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it does kind of work, like just kind of overlapping your text a bit. And I like this one, this long kind of rectangular one over here. And just bring the opacity down a smidge. Okay, so just bringing in some different textures. And it's just a little idea that you can use. There we go. Okay. And it's just added a little bit of interest around the place. Few little textures. And it's filled that one gap that I was really bothered with was the one above why was it needed. This one here really bothered me.
You're so bothered about it.
Yeah, and it's just a nice little, and as that like strip of ink and that little kind of stamp is just, I think that's a really cool feature now on this.
It's made your day, hasn't it?
It has a bit, yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Right. Do you want to do a bit of that or not?
Yeah, I've already done it, haven't I?
Yeah. Oh, let's have a look. Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you what I did.
Yes.
I wasn't unhappy with my gaps.
Oh,
I was
like
very
that.
pleased with my gaps, actually. But I went into design assets, ink stamp, and I like this one because it just reminded me of like someone stamping something or a mail thing.
Yeah.
And, so I just put it in there, reduced the opacity, 50 odds, and then like that, and then just kind of.
That's fab. Yeah.
I don't know.
You're saying that what you're saying is that gap above when did it happen isn't bothering you at all, is it?
No, not
No.
No, in fact, I was like, yeah, that's good use of white space. Well done, Kyle Webster. Nonetheless, will probably be really pleased. I'm going to put it there. There you go. You're happy now.
I am now, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you need. Okay. And as long as Red is happy, we're all good. Shall I show them how to share quickly?
Yeah, I think it's clearer on the browser. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay. So the download is up here. You can see that, the little download button. And then you can press share. And you can send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, add people to collaborate if you need them via their email addresses, or you can create a view-only link. And just create a link down the bottom, and it will fire out a URL, which means you don't have to clog up any of your school's storage or anything like that. And you can share that with whoever you like. Probably won't wait around for it. It's not really very good television, is it?
No, it looks... Yeah,
but it will come out at some point here.
Yeah, so that's great. It looks fantastic. I hope we've all kind of had an opportunity to learn about this as well, and definitely the kind of learnings from it. And we hear every day now about children trying to escape from violence, and so the lessons from the past are things that definitely are relevant today. So there we go. That's our first activity is done. So
right, what's on the menu for number 2?
Okay, so for the next one, we're going to be looking at an animated banner. So Yeah, well, we do a lot of animated stuff, but it's been a while since we've done a banner. Now, these are things that you see all the time. When you visit a website, there'll often be kind of an animated banner at the top. A lot of people add animated banners as their email signatures. They maybe add it in as a GIF. So you create it as a video file and convert it into a GIF, which is something that Express can do for you. So we just want to create a simple animated banner, really nice and classy and understated animated banner for Holocaust Remembrance Day. Okay, so let's jump back over to Express, and we're going to tap on the Express icon. So that's the colored A in the top left-hand corner. That's going to take us back to the Adobe Express homepage. Okay, now then, on the Adobe Express homepage, we are going to be creating a banner. So we need to find that first. So we're going to tap on the blue dot in the top left-hand corner. With it. Okay, it's going to open up your Get Started window. Now, you could scroll through here, but I think it's easier to just search for a banner. So in the top right-hand corner, you see over here, it says try flyer or resize. So in there, you can just type banner, BANNER.
Oh, right. So there's already a thing for it.
There's loads of banner presets here, yeah. There we go. So now then, the one we are going to be using is the first one there, which is an Etsy shop banner. Okay, that's going to be fine for us for the size that we want. So tap on that, and you'll see that it's going to give you this long strip canvas. And, starting off with a different canvas is a really good way to be creative. It makes you think in a different way. How am I going to lay everything out, etc. Right. So first step is we're going to change the background color of our canvas to be black. Okay. So up at the top ribbon, now on the browser, you've actually got words next to these icons, but on the iPad, it's the fourth one along, this guy. Okay. And we just want to change the background color to black. Okay, and we're going to have a candle theme for our banner.
Oh, nice! I know what your animation is going to be. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, though.
Please don't. So we've got a black background, and now the first thing we're going to do is search for a candle video to put over on the right-hand side, and then we'll pass over the top. Okay, so I'm going to go to Media, Videos, and here I'm just going to search for candle. Now,
one. I wasn't expecting that.
Now then, keep your guessing, see?
Yeah, I know. Keep your guessing, see?
A lot of these candle videos will be on a black background. So that's why I went for this black background. So that most of these candles that you choose, and you scroll through and choose whichever, most of these are totally appropriate. I quite like this kind of tea light one that's here. So I'm just going to bring that in.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't expect you to do that. Yeah.
No. Although it looks, and on our screens, it looks as if it's exactly the same. Like the video background isn't a perfect black. So I am going to use the, the wrong one. The screen blend mode, sorry. And that gets rid of that dark background view. It just makes whatever's dark see-through. Okay, so even though it looked on your screen as if I didn't need to do that, it just makes sure that we don't get this kind of dark gray square on a pure black background. That's totally got rid of it. Okay, and if I click play, I can see that flame just flicker.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so that's a good start. Right, I'm going to pass over to Dom, and whilst Dom's doing that, I'm going to be naming my file.
Yes.
Holocaust.
Didn't want to say. Of course, I wanted to say
Holocaust Remembrance Day banner. Right. Okay. Over to you, Dom.
Come on. Right. So this was my first one, but now I don't have to do this anymore because it's all done. So I'm going to go to the big A in the top left, or the little tiny A, in fact, in the top left. And then I'm going to go to the plus, because we're searching for, over in this little text box over here, this search bar, banner. And it was this first one, Etsy shop banner. That was the one we're going to use because it's long and thin. And then get rid of these templates. They always come up. I don't think I've ever used them ever. And being the good student that I am, It's going to be Holocaust banner. Okay, great. So that's all done. You're seeing best practice here as always. And then you can see just at the top, it does actually say the words on the browser, which is very handy. Background color. Click that. We're going for a black. That's the first option that you can see. Perfect. And then on the left-hand side, M for media, going to videos. Did you just search candle?
Yeah.
Candle. Okay, nice. So there's all sorts here. I mean, maybe I should try and be individual and unique. I mean, tell me, give me some hints on, what I should be doing here. Are we looking to layer these up?
We're going to be doing quite a bit of layering. Yes. Yeah.
Do you want them all to be tea lights? So you're happy with a smorgasbord of lights?
Any kind of candle is fine. Yeah. If you want to bring more than one, that's fine.
Okay.
I suppose you wouldn't want something where the edge of the frame cuts it off in a straight line, because then you're going to have that issue that we had with the top and the bottom of our train earlier. You know what I mean? So you want something that when you use the blend mode, that it basically looks as if it's part of your background. So that one, you see the one with the tea lights in the background, up one.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great, would it? Because that left-hand light would be just cropped off.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's go for ones which have got like something like this would be okay, I think.
Fine. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's just get in really nice and close on this. Now, you see, like Meredith said, the two blacks here, they aren't quite the same. They're slightly different. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting this video that I've just put in, and then I'm going to go down to blend mode. But you know what I think is that screen and multiply confused me for years. Why don't they just say light and dark?
Yeah, I know.
It would just make things so much easier. So we only want the light things. That's obviously the candle light itself. And all the dark stuff can go. So we want screen. It doesn't look like anything's happened, but it actually has. And I can see that it's looking much nicer on my screen now. That's fantastic. So there we go.
Cool.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Okay, righty ho. So next, so I'm keeping that space. We're going to have text going along there. So we're going to have Holocaust Remembrance Day, which is a long piece of text. So I'm going to have that going there across the left-hand side. That's why I'm kind of stacking my imagery over to the right-hand side. Okay, right now then. Let's layer this up. So I want to see some kind of light emanating from this candle across my canvas. So again, in media under videos, I'm just going to search in here for the word flare, Flare. And I don't mean trousers with big baggy bottoms on them. So there's lots of options here. Okay, so I want something that'll work so that it looks like light coming from a candle. This one here on the left-hand side looks like a good candidate.
Which one are you thinking here? We can't. It's harder to say. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and what we could do here is I'm going to do. So obviously, you see there now that it's got that black edge. I'm going to do the same. I'm gonna change the blend mode to screen.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to bring it over. And you see it's got that kind of bit of light coming off it as well. That's quite good. That's a bit of a nice accent. I want that. Now I'm going to pop it over there. And then I'm actually I'm going to rotate it a bit because I really like that line. So I'll just have that kind of pointing in towards the rest of my banner. But now I'm going to put this behind my candle. Okay, because at the moment, that flare is kind of obliterating the actual flame of the candle itself. With my layer stack, let's just pop that down behind. Okay, and now let's have a look at it. Okay, so I've got this really nice glow.
Nice. Just zoom in on your canvas there.
Yeah.
This is better.
So there, you see? That's combining the glow and the candlelight. And if the glow's a bit, and if that flares a bit too much, I think it is at that point, that looks a bit crazy, that flame, then you know what I can do, guys. I can just tap on it and just bring the opacity down a smidge. There it is. All right. So layer up some kind of flare behind your candle dump, if you would, please.
Okay. So I'm in videos still, so I can just change from candle to flare. Now, one of the things which I quite like on the iPad, and it does do it on the browser, is that you know it's very easy to go through and have a look at all of these. Ooh, that one's quite nice. I like that. Yeah, that's nice. That's a really long line. I like that, and it goes. Wow, it was a bit crazy there. But you got to get it. You know, you've got to get a balance. Oh, that's a nice little flicker, and it has got a little bit of a line in it. Do you know what? I'll try that. I've clicked it. It's on my screen. I'm going for it. Right. So let's bring it over. Now you can see, like Mr. Jones said before, let me just play this to make sure that, yeah, there we go. It does come on. You can see that if I move this file around, it's covering my candle. And the way to get rid of that is very easy. Let me just go in a little bit closer as well so you can see things better, is to change my blend mode with this selected to, hang on, is to change my blend mode to screen. That's going to give us all the light stuff and none of the dark stuff. Okay. Now, I also want to move it so it's kind of over the tip, just there.
Yeah.
Nice. And maybe what I want to do is, maybe I want to move the handle over a little bit. Maybe that would be good. And then just pop that little touch of light on there. And then to see how this works together, I'm down at the bottom here on my timeline. I've got my playhead here, and I'm just going to bring that there and play it. Right, yeah. So it's not quite in the right position. Oh, because my flame does go a bit crazy, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. You could put it down at the base of the flame, couldn't you? A bit more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Maybe like right down there, because we know that the base of the flame is not going to move. So then I bring my playhead back to the start.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. I like that. And oh, it's dancing. It's dancing.
Lovely.
Yeah, that kind of works. I mean, go through and play with you know, which flare you're going to use. Maybe the first one you get isn't going to be the most perfect one you want. Who knows? Yeah.
Cool. All right. Now then, we're going to use the same skill again. We're repeating skills here now. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to add the kind of the shadow of barbed wire. So barbed wire is definitely evocative of the Holocaust because it makes us remember the concentration camps. So I'm going to go to media and the videos. Again, I'm going to search just for barbed wire. Now this, you could just search for a photo here. It doesn't need to be a video, but you know, a little bit of movement just does definitely take things a bit to the next level, doesn't it? So barbed wire. Again, search for barbed wire there, and yeah, there's not a huge amount of results for this. 16 of them, but this one here is going to be fine. Okay, this long. No, it's in vertical. It's in portrait mode. Well, I tapped on it. It hasn't arrived yet. Where are you? Oh, if I try that again, it's going to give me 2, isn't it? Let's try it again. Set, tap. Oh, you can add 2 videos per scene on mobile. Oh, I did not know that. Did you know that, Tom?
Well, you do now.
Because I tried this out on the browser, you know. Right. Okay, that's fine.
I see.
Okay, that's fine. Well, as I was saying, you could use a still image, which I'm going to have to now.
Yes.
That's fine. So let's just choose a still image of some barbed wire. Something like that is fine. Okay. Now then, I'm going to maybe flip it. Yes, like that. There we go. And again, I'm going to use blend mode. So this time I want to keep the darker part, which is the barbed wire, and get rid of the lighter part, which is the sky. So I need to use multiply here, not screen. Okay, so multiply keeps the dark bits, makes the light bits transparent. Screen does the opposite, keeps the light bits, makes the dark bits transparent. There we go. So there's my my barbed wire there. And what I'm going to do is pop that between the flare and the candle. Okay, and you can just experiment with where you want them to be. Okay, but I think by doing that, yes, there we go. As my flare comes in, it just lights up the, where is my flare? Oh, I'm having video problems. Basically, the barbed wire then won't be visible until the flare flashes up. It's really kind of...
Would you want to talk me through it?
Yeah. Right, here we go. We're back with Dom. So, yeah, just get... So you can do it with a video file. So you would search for barbed wire.
Right. Well, just to tell people, I've repositioned my little flare so that it was right at the bottom of the candle, which I knew was going to move. But then instead of flare, I'm going to go for barbed wire.
Yeah. So choose.
Well, why would we want a video file necessarily?
Just to get a bit of movement. You don't have to, though. No, it's fine without.
You know what? I'm going to go for a photo.
Yeah,
I think it's easier for people to follow then. Maybe. And is there anything in particular? You went for this one here. Is there anything in particular? Like, can I go for this one? Yeah, you could. Yeah. You just want, yeah. So now just, you want to keep the dark bits, get rid of the lighter bits. So you want to use the multiply.
Yeah. Now, there we go. So
I can't really see it now.
Yeah, so that's good, isn't it? So then, so if you bring it over your light and pop it underneath the candle, and pop your. So you want your flare right in the back. You know, you're in a layer stack, but your flare right in the back.
So here's my layer stack over here.
Flame at the top.
At the moment, the barb is at the top, and I'm going to put the flame at the top.
There we go. Barbed wire in the middle, flare in the back.
Okay, fine. So candle, come on, people. Let's get. Oh no, I was afraid. Here we go. I can get to it this way. Come on. There we go. And then I'll move us in here. Okay, so now when I play it, ooh, look at that. You can just see it. I hope you can.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So we're seeing it.
The flares there and the barbed wire is just about there as well.
Yeah, so we're seeing the barbed wire against the light of the flare. That's why it's so subtle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
One thing that I did notice is that my flare is shorter in terms of duration than my candle.
Oh, yeah.
So should I bring this back?
Yeah, we can bring the whole scene down to about 5 seconds, I think. So, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Now that'll shorten. If you do the one in the middle, that'll shorten everything. So I've done about 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds. That's fine.
Yeah, cool. Okay, right. Well, we're now just on to text, really. Okay, so let's just get my screen up. Now then, for the text, we're just going to go to text, add your text, and I go Holocaust Remembrance Day. Okay, like that. Now then, for colors, the color of this font is important. You know, it's going to help us set the mood. So I think picking out the color that we've got in that candle is really going to help.
Yeah,
kind of yellowy browns that you've got there. Not in the flame itself, because that's pretty much going to be white, but in the candle itself. So grab that, grab your eyedropper, bring it over, and let's just pick out one of these kind of colors. Yeah, no, the eyedropper tool on the iPad isn't behaving very well at the moment. So I'll just mix that up quickly like that, custom, and then just stacking it down a bit, I think. There we go, something like that. Okay, and the font is, you know, again, super important. Yeah, so let's have a look. You know, recommended, is there something here that, you know, maybe something like that works, maybe. Or you could again go for the IM fell, but you want something, you know, respectful, I think is the word. You want a respectful font. Okay. Right. Now then, once you've got that, I'm going to duplicate it. 3 dots. Duplicate. Okay. And the date for Holocaust Remembrance Day is the 27th of January this year. So let's just change this text out for January 27th, 2025. Go. Just going to bring that down And again, you can think then, where's this going to work? Is it going to work nicely over here?
Oh,
Or
I
is it
like
gonna...
the right line actually.
Yeah, or you
I
can
like
send...
the right line, yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
do that. You know, if you've got a letter that has got that's
Yeah, I
drops
like that Y.
Y, you don't want to crash into it. So just tuck in door to it like that.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Okay. So sort out our text is the next step, and then there'll only be one little step at the end, a little special effect again at the end, and then we'll be done. Okay, over to you, Dom.
Okay, so I'm going to go to text on the left-hand side, add your text, type it in here, Remembrance Day. Okay, so in terms of color, I'm going to go to the fill box down here. You can see. I'm going to use my dropper tool. I think you'll lose sight of this, but it is just here. I'm going to use that dropper tool, and then I'm going to choose a color from my candle. You've probably lost sight of it already, but there we go. That's nice. I like that actually. And it's very rich. And then if I search for I am fell again, maybe one that isn't so. I definitely want it to be italicized, I think.
Oh, that, yeah, you just passed a good one there. I am fell double pica italic is a nice one, isn't it?
That's good. Yeah, and maybe I can change. Oh, you can't do it. You can't do italic in that actually. Actually, I don't. I'm okay with it not being italic. Actually,
yeah,
I'm all right with that. That's good there. And then we did 3 dots, duplicate, and here we're going to change it to. I'll put it's 27th.
7th, yeah.
January 2025. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I think the first thing that Mr. Jones did was he made it a little bit smaller, which is a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
And then I'll bring it, and I don't have a lowercase y, which is going underneath the page or underneath the banner. So I'll pop mine in here. But also, I think what I'll do is I'll go back to my fill color and make this slightly different. I'll make the top one like the candle wax, and I'll make this one slightly lighter, the same as the candle itself. I'm using my dropper tool.
I think what I do, yeah, I just
like
an idea for you there, Dom. You know the J in January. If you type that as lowercase, because it's all uppercase anyway, maybe you'll be able to, you can tuck that up closer to the text if you want to. Then, or that J was intruding.
Was shoving it down a little bit, yeah.
Oh,
so I like the balance of the 2 colors. That works really nicely.
I was going to say those colors are really nice like that. Yeah, that is lovely. Right, now then, we've got one little idea left. Okay, now I'm going to have to do this with images, but Dom can do this with videos again. Okay, on mobile, we've got a video limit per scene, which I didn't know about. That's how many video clips we can stack above each other. It's only 2 on mobile on the iPad. Right. So what I want to do is, you know that lens flare that we put behind our camera.
I remember.
Now, if that was in the same room as this text, it would shine off certain parts of the text. So this works really well with video, but I'm going to have to do it with design assets, which is totally fine. So I'm going to go to Elements, Design Assets, and just search here for flare. I'm sure I'll get something that works. And I just want, again, that kind of little star. Okay, and you could even search for star. I just want a kind of little glint of light. Okay, something like that is fine. Okay, now then, with this, zoom in. Now then, this works. If you're doing this with a video, it is amazing. Okay, but I think it'll be nice with an image as well. And I'm just going to pop that onto the kind of corner of a few of my letters. Okay, so maybe something like that. Just bring the opacity down a bit. There we go. And now,
nice. That works really well.
Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate that a few times. 3 dots, duplicate. And where? Oh no, don't do that. Right. And then maybe it would shine off the B here. Okay, there we go. And you can see when I zoom out, it's really subtle. And maybe it would shine off the Y there, like that.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah.
So, and as I said, it works really nice with just the design assets. But if you're on a browser, those could all be video flares. And as you play it, they'd actually kind of shine off the letters as you play your video. Right. So and at that point, I'm actually done then. So let's just jump over the top.
Okie dokie. So I'm just going to look for one lens flare. You guys can look for as many as you like. Flare. And what am I looking at? I suppose I'm looking for like a single one.
Yeah.
That one's, oh, this one's quite good.
Yeah, that's great.
That one's quite good. It kind of grows, I think, this one.
So you will need
yeah,
so if you're not using a design asset like I did, then you're going to need to use, of course, the screen blend mode again, guys, to keep bits.
Screen, just to keep the light bits.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to make it smaller.
Yeah.
And then pop it on the H of Holocaust here, I think. Maybe just on the corner there. Nice, because it gets straight line along that H, which is cool. Let's have a little play, see what it's like. Oh, lovely. Yeah, really nice. And then if I want to, I can go and find another one. For example, that one's quite cool. And then I can bring that and do the same thing, screen mode, screen blend mode, and put that on the R maybe just there. And let's see what it's like with them both together. Oh, wow, look at that.
Really nice.
Yeah, really cool. Do you know what? I think those two, I mean, I could do one on the day, D of day or Y of day as well.
Yeah, you could just duplicate one you've already got. Right.
Yeah, that's true. But that's
really
great.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, and if you think it's a bit too strong, then remember you can just bring the opacity down a bit. You know, you can always tame things down a bit. If it's close to what you want, you can always tame it down. That's really great.
I think I might do it in that one. Shall I show people how to share quickly?
Yeah, brilliant.
Download button is there if you need it. Video resolution, if you have to, is 720. I think generally best not download. Don't need to clog up computers when you've got this ability to press share. And then you can go to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, if that's your thing, or you can create a view-only link and just do create link there. It will take a while with video because there's lots of different things going on in there, but give that a click. It'll give you a URL which you can share with whoever you like. Good stuff, everyone. Good job. Well done, you, for doing some creative stuff there on a very important day.
Let's have a quick look at next week, guys. So next week, we've got a really busy one. So Monday, we've got a Children's Mental Health Week live lesson. So get signed up for that. That's a week today. And then next Tuesday, there's a week tomorrow. We've got that again, another live lesson for Children's Mental Health Week. But also on Tuesday, we are doing a Safer Internet Day. Now, if you're in Wales or in England, maybe you're thinking, hang on, what? That's not the date of Safer Internet Day. But a lot of schools in Northern Ireland or Scotland are off on a half term when our UK official Safer Internet Day is on. So we're doing a Safer Internet Day special for Northern Ireland and Scotland schools. But, you know, if you're from Wales or England and you can't make it on the day, then come along next week instead. So that's also on the Tuesday. So you're going to have to pick which one you want on the Tuesday. And then on Friday, a week Friday, it's Dydd Music Cymru. Diwrnod Music Cymru. So it's Welsh Language Music Day, which
we're going to do it all about Gorky zygotic monkeys, aren't we?
Oh, hey, they're from Carmarthen, you know.
Are they? Didn't know that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they went to Bromarden, the local high school. Yeah. Cool. Fact of the day view.
Well, there you go. Thanks, everyone, for coming along today. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you at one of these sessions next week.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming along. Bye.